up, it's Ben Murphy! How about a big round of applause for Ben, our MC tonight, doing an incredible job. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Ben Murphy. That's Ben with a B. A lot of people hear my name and think I said Dan Murphy, though to be fair, that's usually at AA. Not that I'm drinking anymore, because my partner and I have been trying for quite some time now to have a baby. It's been pretty unsuccessful, so there's been all the typical medical stuff, doctor's appointments, blood tests, counselling sessions, the works. The doctor's final diagnosis was that we both have dicks. My partner Matt has the bigger diagnosis, and he was a little bit worried how I'd handle the news. I said, babe, it's fine, I can take it. I've just turned 40, which for gays is like turning 80, and I've noticed that the attention I get from attractive men's really started to recede, like my hairline. You know what I'm talking about, madam. It's fine. And not that's a big issue, because as I said, I'm partnered almost happily. 21 years we've been together. A long time, yeah. So not married, but still hoping for a nice fingering. I'll never forget the first time I saw my partner's gorgeous face on Grindr. Yeah, it turns out I wasn't the only one lying about being monogamous. Oops. Big shit that day. I actually took home a guy from Grindr who was an English teacher, but when we got back to his place, I sort of struggled to get hard a bit. I think he had a semicolon. But I remember 21 years ago when I introduced my partner to my nan, she wasn't impressed. I don't know if you've noticed, but grandparents, they're a lot like your favourite 90s rom-com. Like, sure, you've got really fond memories of your childhood, but when you go back, you realise, oh, you're a little bit racist, and actually, they stink. Well, she was disgusted. She's like, you guys are disgusting. You do it like animals or like dogs. It turns out she's right. After 21 years with the same person, the only way we do it now is doggy style. Yeah, I've got to sit up and beg for a bone, and he just rolls over and plays dead. So now sex is back to how it was when I was 15, alone and in the shower. Except now the water pelting down on me is tears, and the only way to get hard is with a rubber band around my balls and a hand around my throat, and then I get embarrassed and give up halfway through, kind of like trying to watch the latest special from Amy Schumer. I just feel disgusted in myself. So it may come as a surprise to you, but I got bullied a lot when I was a teenager. You're like, no shit. Okay, not a surprise to you. And that probably led to my alcohol issues later in life. I think being gay and an alcoholic have a lot in common. Both have a tendency to make you loud, likely to dance on a tabletop, wake up filled with regrets and a really bad taste in your mouth. Well, the bullies were quite mean. They used to call me Dover, Ben Dover. Hilarious. Though now in certain groups, it's more of a polite invitation than an insult. The bullying got really, truthfully, quite bad for a little while. So my parents were called into the office at school, and Principal Stevens said, Mr. and Mrs. Murphy, the abuse that your son receives is getting out of control. If something's not done soon, we are going to have to take matters further. Thankfully, Mum and Dad listened, and never again did either of them call me a faggot. So that was really nice. To combat some of the bullying, I took up boxing, but then they just called me Fruit Punch. So Dad would occasionally box with me. It wasn't for me, but it was a night off for Mum. I live in Melbourne, but I'm up here at the moment because my dad's just started chemo this week because he's got lymphoma, but knowing him, he'll beat that too. We moved around a lot as kids. I was born in Sydney, grew up in Brisbane, and now live in Melbourne. So I think that explains why I'm overrated, a little bit racist, and love an almond latte, which is really nice. I don't know, did you guys hear that for the first time ever this year that Peter Dutton supported Pride Month? Did you know? Yeah, I know. That was until he realised that LGBTQI doesn't stand for Let's Get Back to Questioning Immigration. He's like, oh, big mistake. Not the first time I've been given the clap. Thanks. Never mind. I went through a bit of a wild phase when I was your age, quite young. I got some tattoos. Anyone get some tattoos here? You get any tattoos? No? How about you? Fantastic story. Cool. Well, I went through a rebellious stage and I got a W on each arse cheek. At the time, I thought it was a bit of a wow. But then the guy sort of came this way and he's like, Mum. But I got the tattoo 27 years ago, so now it's a real wow. I'm quite into fashion, but I've found that some of my favorite fashion brands are a little bit problematic. Like, did you know that Hugo Boss designed the uniforms for the Nazis? I mean, say what you will about Hitler, but he certainly put the fashion into fascism. But with the cost of living, the amount of new suits I can afford is getting fewer and fewer. You've probably noticed by now I'm not like a lot of the other queer comedians out there. I've got no agenda, and the only time I'm woke is in the middle of the night when I get up for the 7th time to pee. And then it's just to dribble out some sad, pathetic message in Morse code. You're like, drip, 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 drip. And you think it's done, and you start walking back to bed, and you're like, oh, fuck, it's still sending? And you're like, I'll worry about it in the morning. Don't worry, it's not medical. I regularly get my prostate checked, sometimes even by a doctor. So the last one gave me 2 thumbs up. What a treat that was. The fist bump was a little bit much. Anyway, my name's Ben Murphy. It's been an absolute pleasure performing for you all. Thank you. Good night. Thanks.
Hey, love you, everybody. Love you. I should tell you this. I mean,